Okay, I just went to this little sort of kind of fast foodish place and I ordered a vegetarian platter. It was really delicious. It was some French fries with a block of feta cheese and then some roasted vegetables with a little bit of lettuce. So the vegetables were roasted eggplant and roasted peppers, and then there was a little dish of a little pot of this delicious dish that is called fergesi. So if anybody's interested in trying to cook any Albanian vegetarian food, Becky, that's you. You could look up this fergesi. It was really delicious. It's made with peppers and tomatoes and cheese, and it's a traditional Albanian dish, so I recommend that, fergesi. Okay, so this is like the shopping street right near my Airbnb. It's 9 o'clock on a Sunday night, and the streets are just full of people. I thought maybe on a Sunday things would be closed, which I was worried about because you know how I feel about the stores being closed. But there's just people out everywhere, and the cafes are full, and everything's open. So you can see why I feel safe walking alone here, even at night. It just seems to be the norm. And these vendors never seem to close. So it's Sunday at 9 o'clock and the shoe store is still open. So the shops here never close. So the most surprising thing so far about Albania, everyone speaks English. I don't get it. I mean, I guess tourism is really a big industry here. So of course I'm mostly speaking to people working in restaurants and such. But everybody speaks English. Like, they can understand me when I ask questions and everything. And then today, in the courtyard of my building there, some kids who live in the building were out in the middle of the courtyard, and these were like two little kids. They were maybe 4 or 5 years old, and they were speaking English. And I was sure I heard English. And of course they were looking at their phones, so they were probably on TikTok or YouTube. So I went up to one of these little kids and I was like, "You speak English?" And I had to say it a few times. I said, "You speak English?" And she finally said to me, "Yes, I'm speaking English." But I don't think she could say much more than that. So here in Tirana, they took some of the old bunkers, the nuclear war bunkers from during the Cold War, the communist era, and they've made them into museums. So I was planning to go to Bunkar 1, which is the main one that everybody really says is the place to go. And they have art in there and some history. I think more art. Then I found out that Bunkar 1, the main one, is not open today. So today's Tuesday. So I'm going to go to Bunkar 2 instead, which everybody says is more about the history of the communist era and the brutality of it. So it seems like I have some sort of weird fascination with that period. So we'll see how I do. After that, I made an appointment to get my hair cut. So I guess I'll show you that when I'm done.
Mi stavo riparando nella guerra. Era nel bunker, l'ho salvati io!
This is the entrance to the bunker. It's in this underground bunker, and you come down the stairs. This is what it looks like from the outside. All right, guys, I just got my hair done in Tirana, so I'm pretty happy with it. I went to this place, Tessie. And I got it off Google, and she had really great Google reviews. She was a hairdresser in New York City for 10 years. At Elizabeth Arden in New York and Saks Fifth Avenue in New York. So she had really great reviews. I went and I'm very happy with it. But I do like it, and it's so hot here. I'm glad to have shorter hair. And it was 25 euros. So it's a little more than $25. So today I went to the bank to take money out of the ATM, and I got into a conversation with the security guard, the guy who opened the door for me at the bank, because I had to ask him like where the ATM was. He asked me where I was from, and I said I was from the US. So I got into this conversation with him, and he started telling me, oh, Albania loves America. Everybody in Albania loves America. He goes, except for George Soros. He goes, George Soros has destroyed Albania. And I was like, what? I was like, George Soros? He said, yes. And I was like, how? Well, apparently, he said, Albania's all corruption. Everybody in the government is so corrupt, and Soros has been funding all these corrupt government workers. And he provides funding for their projects. And I said, well, maybe he doesn't know that they're corrupt. He said, oh no, he knows. And he's still giving all this money to fund these corrupt politicians. And then he told me that Soros' son comes to Albania once a month and visits Albania, and they know exactly what's going on. So I thought that was interesting.